The depressing tune of Lavender Town. Everyone says the music to Lavender Town is disturbing or creepy. Others say the original Lavender Town theme caused kids to commit suicide. That theory has been proven false many times. But I am not going to talk about that. As I mentioned before, people say that the song to Lavender Town is disturbing and creepy. Not to me. It's depressing. Completely depressing. Think about it. You're in a town where Pokemon are buried. Pokemon are buried. You thought they only faint? Oh no. The town is a tower equivalent to a graveyard. In that tower, Pokemon are buried. The females you battle in that tower are possessed. One even says that she wants blood. Let's not forget that a Marowak ghost haunts the tower, and that a ground type was killed by Team Rocket. The residents in that town are also a bit somber. And let's not forget the girl speaking of the White Hand, and theorized it to be a ghost herself. The song in red, blue, green, yellow, fire red, leaf green is very creepy and sad. But in gold, silver, crystal, heart gold, soul silver, the tune is more calming, yet it's still sad. The town may have a radio tower, but the residents still have their memories of the departed Pokemon. Speaking of which, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, if you speak to your Pokemon, they won't be too happy. This town, its tune, it's not creepy, it's not disturbing, it's sad. People have lost Pokemon. Pokemon they cared for. And placed a radio where the bodies were made. Can you even think about how the residents feel? I don't see how the song is disturbing. The only reason it's disturbing is because of the suicide rumors. It's more depressing than disturbing. It plays in a town that has a grave tower, where the bodies of dead Pokemon are buried. The residents are sad. You came along and cheered them up a bit. Then, the grave tower was torn down, and while they seemed happy, they weren't. The tune of Lavender Town to me, again, is depressing. And that, my spoopy little puppies, was the depressing tune of Lavender Town. Final thoughts? As far as constructive criticism goes, there's a lot of fixing with the grammar. First of all, the sentence where, let me find it. Where it says, is not creepy. Try changing is to it. And for this one, and later the tower was torn, and a place where the bodies were made, change it to, and later the tower was torn, and a radio was replaced for the bodies, for the tower, for the place where the bodies were made, or something like that. I don't know. And this one, can you even think about what the residents feel? Try changing what to how, and I think that's about it for constructive criticism. This sentence, speaking of which, in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, if you speak to your Pokemon, they won't be too happy. Wrong to try adding another O to this too, and you're good to go. And as far as the story goes, this one is actually pretty interesting. I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like it. Now, again, I do agree that it's more depressing than disturbing, because, again, Lavender Town is probably one of the creepiest places in the Pokemon games, but again, it's more sad than disturbing. Like, what makes it disturbing for me is, it's not the rumors about kids committing suicide after hearing the song, because that's been debunked as false numerous times, and was only rumored to have been that way because of the unaired Pokemon episode Electric Soldier Porygon. And what makes it disturbing for me is, well, the ladies in the tower, the Chandlers in the tower being possessed, with one crying out that she wants blood, and the fact that it's, and with the hauntings and the demons and the ghosts and ghouls and everything, that does make me a little bit creeped out about Lavender Town, but what makes it more depressing for me is Marowak haunting the tower. You know, the Mother Marowak that was killed by Team Rocket. Again, it's both sad and disturbing for me. It's both sad and creepy for me. But I could see why people would see Lavender Town as more depressing as well as its song. And again, in the Kanto games, it's very creepy and sad, but in the Johto games, the music turned more calm and it's still very sad. Now, again, this is not a bad read, other than the grammatical errors here and there, but this is probably one of the more interesting and well thought out Lavender Town creepypastas I've actually read in my entire life. As for the creepypasta itself, I give it a 7.5 out of 10. Aside from the grammar errors, it's a good read all in all. Well, my little pups, I'll be seeing you later. Stay awesome, stay strong, stay beautiful, and make sure that white hand on your shoulder isn't real. Good night, my little pups. Sweet dreams.